Dorothy Odell back again for this week's installment of Beyond the Crystal Wand. This week we're going to discuss signs and symbols. We often have a lot of people coming through the shop and they're always asking, what does this mean? What does that mean? And so my niece, the manager, suggested I do something to explain some of these things that you might see in our shop or other metaphysical shops so that you're not put off by them, okay? I'm going to start with the A's, the ankh. Ta-da! See this? I think everyone pretty well knows what an ankh is. It's an ancient Egyptian symbol. It was a hieroglyph that was normally seen to represent life. The ancient Egyptians believed that life began in the creation of the universe and continually circulated through, and that's what animated people, etc., etc. Anyway, they drew pictures. This was their representation for that life force. And that's why when you find tombs and the pharaohs and different people, they would show the gods holding an ankh because it was symbolic of them giving the new life to the dead pharaoh. Or they would show pictures of the pharaohs carrying an ankh, giving life to the country or to its people. That's what essentially the symbolism of an ankh is. It's life. It's a life force, everlasting. Early on in the early church, the Coptic Christians, the ones on the eastern side, like the Egyptian Christians or the Greek Coptic Christians, they looked at it and saw it, the cross figure of it. They sort of rounded the teardrop shape here to a circle and called it the cross ansada. Might be pronouncing this wrong, but then they adopted it in the Coptic church. It's as the handled cross. They could hold it up easy. You could hold up any cross, but that came from the original Egyptian symbol of the ankh. So much for that. On to the next. And now for one of the most misunderstood symbols that are in our shop. I've seen people actually walk in, see one, and turn around and all but run out the door. The pentagram. Ta-da! See that? It's a 5-pointed star. It has been used culturally for 8,000 years. People have found it in historical archaeological digs. It goes back, they said the ancient Sumerians used. They have pictures of them. They think it represented man or something or other. They don't really know because they don't have the writings to go along with it. But they found the symbolism in Sumerian ruins. They have found the symbolism in ancient Hebrew ruins. They found them in ancient Egyptian ruins. It used to represent, they thought at one point, one of the groups said it represented the 5 planets. The Greeks, Pythagoras, used the pentagram as a symbol of the golden ratio of man. You know that picture where they show you like Da Vinci's drawing with the man in the circle with his arms out and his legs? That's a symbolic of that golden ratio picture. I got a little picture here, but I don't know if you can really see it well. It's been used and considered as a symbolic drawing for many cultures, for many reasons, throughout the centuries. Even the early Christians used the pentagram. They said the 5 points represented the wounds of Christ. This was before they came up with the cross symbolism. They used a pentagram because it was easy to draw, and they would wear that emblem on them when they were out doing their fighting and whatever in the name of Jesus Christ. Good Lord help us. So it's not the sign of the devil. I'm not saying Satanists don't use it, because back in the, 15, 16, it's when Cornelius Agrippa was around doing his magical things and writing his books. He said by using the inverted pentagram, this is how you could call on Satan in some of the books that he wrote. By putting the horns up, then it became a symbol for Satan, and you could call on demons that way. But most Wiccans pagans, and everybody today consider it a symbol of earth, air, fire, water, and the top rung, spirit. It's used as a form of protection, as an amulet of protection against evil. Most of the people on the face of this earth have always used it for, let's say, positive reason or good reason. They haven't used it to draw on the devil. Yes, you do have a few nuts out there who go through all that hysteria, and Hollywood loves to play it up, but that is not what it really stands for. I've had people come in. I had one lady come in one day to the old shop. I almost laughed. She came in with her 2 kids, walked into the back room, saw we had some pentagrams displayed, whatever. The look on her face, she grabbed her kids by, come on, we're out of here, and boom, out the door they flew. I just stood there and thought, we don't eat children, really. I don't know what it just used to shock me the way people would react when they see one. That's why when you come in our shop, all the pentagrams are in the back room. They're never out front, because I know they offend a lot of people. A lot of basic Christians, they love crystals, but they don't want to see a pentagram. And it's all because people don't understand it's not the devil. We're not trying to push Satanism or anything at all like that. But because so many people are frightened by it, we just keep it in the back room, because we figure the people who go back there know what they're looking for, know what it's about, and aren't going to get freaked out. So the next time you see a pentagram, don't believe what you see on TV. Don't believe what you see in the movies. Think of it the way the new neo-pagans and the Wiccans and the current culture is doing with it. Earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. It's like in Japan, the pentagram has actually been used as one of what they call the overcoming cycle. If you get into feng shui, they use the pentagram. They consider it a magical power to help in the overcoming, and they consider it symbolizing the elements. Here we go again: earth, air, water, wood, and metal. It's like the 5 elements of the world. When you're doing feng shui, this is another whole avenue of discussion. There's a cycle that helps you, it's like to bring luck, okay, or to weigh down bad energy in your house. You do certain things and you put certain things in certain places. And apparently they consider the pentagram as symbolic of just the cycle of the 5 elements of the earth. It's a star shape. It has been used by so many cultures throughout thousands of years, and until I think Agrippa came up with the devil thing, people weren't using it for anything negative at all. So relax. Next time you see a pentagram, don't freak out. Just say, oh, that's the elements. That's the spirit. That's for protection. All right, since I held this up before, let's make sure I'm doing it on the right way. The symbol you see outside of the pentagram here, I was going to say Mother Maiden Moon. It's the moon sign, the triple moon sign. This has to do with the divine feminine. It's also called Mother, Maiden, and Crone. Whereas your waxing moon here is going to be, represents youth, maidenhood, promise of new beginnings, springtime. The full moon, which is the circle, forget the pentagram, just look at the circle. The full moon represents motherhood. Well, it represents adult female. It represents motherhood. It represents the embodiment of patience, of gratitude, of teaching. The mother is nurturing. She helps to hold the family together and to heal. And then the waning moon, which is this one here. I always get them backwards half the time. Okay, the waning moon, that's the crone stage. It's like the mother, maiden, crone are also the 3 stages of life connected with the divine feminine. As the crone, you've got old age, you have death, but you also have wisdom. And at this point, you're at that end final stage of life where you are going to impart your wisdom to the younger generations. It's just symbolic. That's all it is. It's symbolism of the divine feminine, and it also represents like the triple goddess in Wiccan faiths and pagan faiths. It's just another symbol that Wiccans and pagans like to wear and or hang in their rooms. I have them. I love the moon symbols because I just like things about the moon, you know. I have a Cancer moon myself. I guess that's why I'm so attracted to it. Lunar symbols turn me on. Lunar things turn me on. And so I'll have a triple moon wall hanging, or that symbol here or there on things. I'll buy them when I see them because I like lunar symbols. All right, so much for the moons. Let's go on to what else do people always say? What's that? Well, this, the triquetra. It's a triple knot. It's a Celtic symbol. This one here, as you see, the triquetra is another symbol that has actually been used throughout history by different cultures for different things. Even the Norsemen had their own version of a triquetra. It's basically, we think of the Celtic triquetra because it's like Celtic knots tied together. The church, when they took the triquetra, or the triskele, and they turned it into symbolism for the Holy Trinity, you know, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. But the Celtic pagans used it more for like earth, the sky, and the water. The pagans had other representations to the meaning of the 3 points of the knots that the Christian religion took over and used it for their own symbolism. It's another symbol. It's nothing negative. It's considered protective and quite lovely. If some of them, you can find all kinds of pieces of jewelry and pendants that have beautiful triquetras or triskele. It's representational of something in triples, something in threes. Essentially, we consider it a Celtic design. It's used traditionally in jewelry lots of times. It's also been traced back into coinage. Well, that's just to take care of a few of the symbols you might find in our shop or other metaphysical shops. When you see things you're not sure about, don't be afraid to ask. Everybody who works there, and I'm assuming it's the same at most shops, will be happy to explain things to you. If you have a question, ask somebody, and hopefully they'll be able to help you understand and accept and open your mind to a whole new understanding of the things that are out there for you to see. Okay? Till next time. Oh yeah, I've got Tracy's working on we're working on a video for herbs. She's going to explain the usage and what to do with various herbs. And oh yeah, the difference between Wiccans and pagans, because people say, well, what's the difference? Well, Tracy's going to tell you. All right, and in the meantime, I'll be working up another little one on something else. I haven't made up my mind yet. There's just so many things out there to talk about. Okay, till next week. See you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.